Okay, here we go. Here's my frequency counter for the mobile phone and oscilloscope adapter. It can be used as both ways. As you see, we're measuring a 60 hertz signal, and it says it's 60.022 hertz, and it's using a it's basically hooked to a 24 volt transformer with some resistors, of course, that make a voltage divider. A voltage divider will divide the voltage down so it's safe enough to send to the phone's microphone pin. What I used to connect it to the phone, as I bought this quote from All Electronics, this is just part of it. I cut off. It's for cameras and iPods. It's for hooking them up to a TV. It's a video cord. It has the white connector on it that is used in it. So you've not shown it to you. There's 3 connectors, and it'll have like a headphone connector, but it has to have 3 connectors: yellow, white, and red usually. The yellow is video, white is left audio, and red is white audio. But the thing is, sometimes you have to test the pins on it because they're not actually the same. The different cords have different wiring and stuff. But luckily, this one here that had a ground was actually hooked to the ground. So basically, it was very easy to do. There are some settings in this program that you have to get used to, like the threshold. On the threshold right there, there's a level section. There's a level section that you have to measure the maximum level for the, the sound pressure or the signal strength, and then the noise. As you can see, the sine wave is not actually perfect. Some phones will do this. There will be some distortion, like there's a distortion there, then it goes like that, whereas sine wave is supposed to go like this. Depending on how good of it is and how well your cord is and how good your phone's audio signal is, which they usually don't care about because it's just something to talk to. As long as the person can hear you, that's all they care about. They don't actually make it better. Anyway, you might have to put low resistors on where the speaker is, unless you want to hook speakers to it. So you want to have speakers on, which was the case of that, because you're usually not going to not be playing anything while you're measuring stuff. Anyway, you could play stuff, but the thing is, it's probably cheaper to get resistors. And the resistors are 8 ohms at any wattage, because basically headphone wattage is not that strong.
Wow.
Make sure you put tape on it so that they don't touch and ruin something. Electric is good. I have this. I'm gonna hook it right. Hook one wire right here. I have this here. What? Not yet. I have this blue electrical box that was thrown out by Johnny's, they were working on this room one time, and it has a crack in it. Not a big crack, it's still usable. So I decided to use it. So what I did is, first you can see the holes right down here. I decided to change where Oh yeah, and just unhook the wire too, so it wouldn't short out while I'm moving it around. Right down at the bottom, there's 5 holes there. I decided to move them up so it's easier to solder to, and plus also I found out that by doing that, the tabs were easier to make, betterly made. As you can see there, we take this alligator clip, and change which position it goes into, and of course this area here disables or has no resistance in the voltage divider. Each resistor in it is 20 kiloohms. So if you go, so the next one is 40, then it goes 60, then 80. I decided to go up to 80 as a maximum because of the voltage that we use, that it uses on it. When it limits it on there, it doesn't need to be that high, because it probably get high enough, it probably be useless, and it could be unsafe for it. So we use 4 out of 10 resistors. You could probably do it like that, but the thing is, so what I did is I made my maximum of 50 volts max. Well, I'm going to use up to 50 volts. Probably won't use that. Well, I calculated on the calculator that it calculates it to like 54 volts. And you can see right there, it's just a 0 right there up here. So I can hook it back up now. So hang on, I'll hook it back up. Hook the ground wire back up into it. Make sure it's not sitting on the metal. Yeah. Hang on. There we go. Good. 60 hertz. That's what we're getting. Waveform looks kind of crappy though on it, because it's not actually what it is. But at least you can measure the frequency. You might be able to do is just use a function generator. And if you look for a sine wave, generate a sine wave on it, and it'll have that characteristic design, the characteristic pattern on it, symbol, where curves and stuff like that, that a waveform should look like. Your phone may have better results than this. There's adjustable gain, where if you go up a little bit. Oops, now you can't see me because I did click on it. That I'm used to clicking on the computer, but I can't do it because my phone's not compatible with TeamViewer to click and type. Only view. If I click here, the gain goes really high. I measured it, and it was giving me like 500 millivolts, which should be plenty enough to. Before I hooked it up, I measured 500 millivolts AC, which should be enough for. Should be enough without damaging anything on the phone. And you see when I do it like that, those programs use it as square waves, which that's not true. Then I go back down a little, it gets a little bit better.
I know where it is, it's right here.
So just hang on a minute, it's still adjusting. yeah, TeamViewer is also slower than my phone. So if you're thinking it's gonna go this slow, it's not. It's the internet. As you see here, the sine wave just looks like that. Just wish these parts here look better. There's also other ones. Let's see if I can show you another one I put on here. This is going to show upside down, I believe. Wait for it. Oh, not actually it's going to be upside down. We're perfect. But it's going to chop the video. It's going to chop it off because I'll pass my resolution. But anyway, this is another oscilloscope program. There's like several of them on the internet. You can find for your cell phone. I believe this here is yeah. Actually, that might be a little bit better if you want to see what the waveform is. But too bad it doesn't tell you what the frequency is like the other one. Still has some bumps on it that we don't know what are caused by. You might have to call that as a sine wave. That might be a perfect sine wave. That's how it's perfect it's gonna get, and it's gonna look like that. Has some bumps on there, but on the waveform, as you see, like right over here and there and there and there. Looks better in 2 channels instead of 1 channel. No, wait a minute. Now it looks even better in 1 channel. Maybe it's because of that's not time division. That must be the voltage. Wait a minute. It's time division. Maybe it's because at 1 it looks kind of bad, yeah. I'm not for sure on that. That looks pretty good. Except that we don't got our... Might be able to make it... In fact, I got started something. If you want to see the whole thing, all you just got to do is just move the TeamViewer window over a little bit. And there you go. Now you can see it. Why didn't I think about that earlier? This one has a hold option. We could hold it. I don't know. Is there a way we could save it? No. You know, if I wanted to save it, I could always use TeamViewer to do that. I could also do a screenshot from my computer of the cell phone picture and then save it somewhere. There's a whole bunch of, there's a few out there. This is just one of them, of the 2 I use. I think I like this one better because this one there's some, I guess it's good I did have 2 of this one and the other one. It's because that this one here, you can actually almost see the waveform better, even though it's still crappy, not crappy as the other one and not as hard to use as the other one. But if you want to read the frequency of what it is, then it's best to use the other one. Even though this app, both apps have ads on it, it's so good. I don't think my clicking affects the thing. Looks like it's... Nope. That thing. So I have to click on there with my finger instead of on the mouse, since it's too real, it doesn't do that. That's the only thing. It must be something with this phone it doesn't like. I don't know if the keyboard actually works. I bet these buttons didn't work either. Yeah. Anyway, it's very simple and easy. I'll show you the schematic pretty soon. I have this function generator here. I'm going to try hooking up to that and see how well that turns out. If I can. How am I going to do that? I need some wires. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some wires. Okay, I got wires and I hooked it up to the function generator. It's at 190 hertz sine wave, and it's better than what the transformer was getting out of. As you can see here, there ain't no lumps or anything on the waveform, but perfect curve. And I can adjust the amplitude too. Make it bigger or smaller. And I can also change the time division on it. That gives us perfect sine width in that program. Let's go ahead and try out the other one.
What are you doing?
Making a video.
Oh yeah?
I gotta tune down a little. That must be turning it up. Get there, perfect. And it's at 189. It's actually working pretty well. I guess signals from the line, AC mains line, must have some little distortion in it, because it's not perfect. Well, this is more perfect than that, or it could be because of the voltage and the current might not be that well. But whatever it is, it's pretty well with the function generator. Let's try a different waveform. Let's try let's try square wave. Square wave looks like it has some distortion on it. And it ain't reading the right frequency either. As you can see, the square should go like this. Go right here down, like that, up and down. And have no bumps like this has. Let me try adjusting the amplitude and see if that helps any. Now let's just, what you can do for function generator, if you're looking for a certain waveform, is that you could use it to generate it and get an idea of how it should look when you hook up the actual device. One of these devices here, the one of the function generator I have, that lets you choose what waveform, choose frequency, and displays the setting on the screen. If you have that, you're pretty good well to go with it. down a little bit, and we're going to go try the next waveform. Let's try triangle wave. That looks okay. It looks triangle wave. Looks like more of a square wave with a capacitor on it. Could be. Perhaps, maybe, that phone has, that phone has some capacitors. It probably does. Because the thing is, it's probably AC coupled. The signal, the microphone jack, and between it. Which means the capacitor on it. That might be the reason why we're getting on triangle wave. It looks like a square wave with a capacitor in series. It'll have, instead of it being a square wave, it has this roundness that looks just like that. Now it looks good. I don't know what's happened. Let's see if let's get out of this one, try the other one. Here we go. Triangle wave. Now let's try sawtooth, which is the next one. Sawtooth looks kind of funny, but you gotta remember that this is not these cell phones. They're not made to measure signals like this, although it can. It's just that that sound, it basically is just that sound signals are actually voltages that are made, that alters and stuff depending on how fast it is and stuff, the frequencies and stuff like that. Anyway, that's our sawtooth one, and you'll see something really funny about this. When we go reverse sawtooth, maybe it's this wire right here is loose. Let's try to get the next one. You'll see the difference. It's like upside down. The sawtooth wave, the reverse sawtooth wave looks like upside down the whatever wave it was before. Now, the only one I see that we had issues with was most likely was the square wave. I wonder if we go to a higher or lower frequency, we get better results. Let's try 10 hertz. That's terrible. 10 hertz don't look that well. Well, maybe there's 10 hertz isn't that much. I guess you could. You would have to notice that it has a little lump on it inside the waveform of a square wave. The square wave should go from here like that way, then down. But instead it's going like that, and then it goes curved down. Now let's take a look at the schematic. Okay, here's the circuit. There's a left speaker, right speaker, and they both have a resistor connection on it. 8.2 ohms, any wattage will work. They made so that the phone thinks there's something hooked to it instead of not thinking that there's anything there. This is grounded. You also connect your second ground to that pin on this one here. And your microphone one is right here, which is replaced with your signal going into it to the voltage divider. Now we made it where you make it with use only one. You don't have to use all these resistors. You can just use one of these and then have 4. Or you can use these as much and select which one you want to choose each time you use it. At the maximum the maximum resistances is determined by the highest one there. I have times 4 right there, times 3, times 2, times 1, and times 0, or which is, yeah, times 0, because there's no resistance in it. So anyway, alright, so let's say we'll put 20 kilo ohms on there, and there will be 20, 40, 60, and 80. This is just an example. You could add more onto it if you wanted to. And you can mix and combine them too. The equation here for figuring out what the resistor you must use that makes check to see if it's safe to use with it is done by this equation here. There's Vn times input to C's 1,500 over 1,500 plus R. And that must be less than or equal to 1 volt on its output. Just as in series will add up, and that will work. And that's basically what we just did. You could put some diodes on between the mic and ground, but then that might interfere with the circuit and stuff. Plus also the microphone outputs a voltage to it. I don't know how well the diode will handle that. We did that. These dashed lines are breakpoints for each one of them to select between this one and this pin here, these points on the circuit. And that's basically it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it.